What is going on? Welcome back to another tantalizing episode of Off the Schneid. Over here, we've got what's your cat's name?
Her name is Leia, and like right on cue, she came in. You got the Bengals in the background. Now I got the Bengal in the background. We got that in common, brother. She's rooting for you. She's on your side.
Is it Princess Leia by chance, or?
I mean, in a way, that was maybe a little bit of inspiration, but yeah, the reference to Star Wars for sure.
Kind of has to be, right? Yeah.
I had a dog that was named Cleo, and so Cleo as a dog, Leia as a cat, like a little bit similar, but also just a little bit different. And yeah, the Star Wars aspect that added a little extra, but
nice. I dig it. Join me tonight. We got Adam. We finally put this together nice and blunt. We've been going back and forth for like 2-3 weeks. It feels like an eternity trying to set this up, trying to align our schedules. I was busy. You're busy. Here we are. We made it. We're here. Appreciate you coming on. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man. Great to be here. Appreciate you staying flexible and, just keeping the conversation going. Happy to be here and glad we set it up. Excited to crush some drafts with some Bengals good vibes.
That's right, man. Flexible is my middle name. So we were chatting beforehand, find out you're a French speaker, which warms my Canadian heart a little bit. So I have a question for you. I have, a little bit. There's some animosity there, but question for you. I did a show a few weeks ago about Travis and Trevor Etienne,
okay,
and how he wants his name to be pronounced now. As a French representative of the United States, how would you say it? How would you say that name?
Well, I remember vividly having like a week stretch when I first researched Travis Etienne coming into the draft. And just because I knew people in the French school I grew up with whose name was Wart.
That's their Etienne. First name, typically, right?
First name.
Yeah. That's a common first name in French. That's what I was saying to.
Yeah. And the pronunciation is literally Etienne, which is as close to Etienne as like an American, phonetically can really go. So for like a week, I just read it with like that in mind. And then once I realized like just how it would just apply in America, I was like, okay, well, it's Etienne. Achan
is not even close, correct?
If that's what his family calls him, that's one thing. But like, it doesn't.
Not correct.
It doesn't track.
So that's what I said. Like the proper way to pronounce it, it'd be like it'd be like the word "it's" with it its ets, like Etienne. Like you'd really you definitely pronounce the e. It's not a, it's e.
It's even like a
Yeah,
Etienne.
yeah, kind of like EHTIEN.
Yeah, but I don't believe he has the accent, so that's where it gets a little bit more nuanced. Like if it had the accent, then there's no question about it. But if that's what he wants to go by all means, like
fair enough. I think the biggest thing is it's like a Creole, Louisiana kind of Southern drawl.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
Like we were talking before off stage beforehand about different ways that people speak French, essentially. So there's French, and then there's Quebecois or Quebecanese, as we like to call it in Canada, which it's not real French. Like
its own thing. It's its own thing.
it's very much its own thing.
I would describe it as the most nasally form of talking French, in all honesty. Like there's a lot in the back of the nose.
And throat, like the top of the throat kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant accent to mimic, and it definitely is a bit more of like a butt of a joke than like anything else. But it sounds like where you are in Alberta, there's some providential animosity, which is understandable. French are a little distasteful and rude most of the time.
Especially, and if we're being honest, the Canadian Quebecois people are very unwelcoming if you don't speak French the way that they speak French and want you to speak French. They will just say, don't even bother trying. When you go to like Mexico or like any other country and you like throw in some Spanish or you throw in some words and they're happy to like, oh yeah, encourage you and all that. In Quebec, they'd be like, don't.
I think that's kind of like
just don't stop.
Yeah, it's a shame that like pride gets involved, because I'm sure they're probably like tired of being like ridiculed for their accent within French, like you're not speaking French correctly, so then they got to double down. Oh no, you're not speaking French correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
Up and accept that like I might be learning this language for the first time. Like you don't talk English correct. Like get over it. I'm proud to be an American for one of those reasons. But
Last thing about anything French before we get going. Did you know, and did anyone in the chat know, did you know that there are 2 French islands off the coast of Canada? It's like a 45-minute boat ride, like dinghy boat ride from the shore of Newfoundland. It's France. They take euros, well, for the most part, but it is France, 100%. 2 French islands off the coast of New Brunswick. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Sorry, Newfoundland, not New Brunswick.
I can't say I'm too familiar with all of their other islands and stuff, but I know they got weird colonial history. It's kind of really odd when you really think about it. Like their history with like Haiti is really gross, honestly.
Yeah, isn't their thing? What's the saying? Or maybe it could be Spain, it could be England, or Britain, or it could be France. I can't remember which one, but it's like the sun never sets on France or England or Spain. I can't remember what it is, because they have territories across the globe essentially. So it's like the sun never sets on our soil essentially.
At one point that definitely applied to the UK. If it still applies to France, it's probably because of like Tahiti and like that part of the like Oceania. Maybe that would apply, but I don't think they have as much in like the Indian
French Polynesian.
Yeah, they got some stuff, but sometimes they really suck. Sometimes
let's get rolling. This is the little history for everybody. Yeah, it's the British Empire. There we go. Let's say what's up to the chat. We got Pepper Tony. Appreciate you coming in. It is AI. Like I've never met Adam in person, so I can't say for sure that he's not just an AI program.
Have you seen that little trend? If you ask someone to put 3 fingers in front of their face and they refuse to do it, then they're AI. If they can't do 3 fingers, because it's gonna fuck.
Really a thing?
Apparently, I saw some video recently. If you request someone to do
that a certain way too, like.
No, just have any fingers in front of the face. It fucks with the thing. But apologies to the chat. Let's get back to the chat.
Good to know. Who Hames in here? What's up, Who? Appreciate you. We got Dynasty right there. Come on, baby, turn the lights off. What's up, man? Appreciate you. You need a shorter name, dog. Like you need a shorter name.
I just call him turn the lights off.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Gab's in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Das Brew Crew. We got Hartman in here. Cats of a feather flock together. I'm a cat person. I got a cat myself. His name's Tucker. He's kind of a shit right now. He's forgotten because we had a baby. We have a 5-month-old. So
congrats.
He's not the happiest of campers about that whole situation. I appreciate that. Adjust the ranks. Absolutely. We got Jeff T in here as a French speaker. Have you been in any African countries?
No, I have not.
A lot of French in Africa.
Yeah, as well.
Northern Africa, we'll say.
Yeah. I when I went to school, I had some Moroccan classmates. Nice. But I've never been, other than Spain and Mexico, I've never been outside the US and France.
That's the other quick question I got for you on your French. Do you speak Spanish pretty well?
I have not been taking Spanish classes as long. So like, I would say my Spanish is much rustier, but like I got this memorized. Yo puedo entender mucho mejor que yo puedo hablar, which means I can understand better than I can speak it. But
there you go. Yeah, because it's super, super similar. French and Spanish are very similar in a lot of ways. So it's pretty easy to learn each way. Like if you are fluent in one, it's pretty easy to learn the other. But either way, Candyman's in the house. How you doing? We got Steve-O. How you doing?
Hello.
The record HN. Yeah. Yeah,
we can go HN. If that's what he wants, let's go HN.
Drunk history. Yeah.
it's high history. I'll tell you that.
That's another question I had. Is that what your namesake has to do with down there?
I do smoke weed on the channel at times. It's not like every single time, but especially when I'm live streaming for sure. And then if you look close enough and you're familiar with what a bong is, you might be able to pick up that the intro video is shot from the bottom of my bong taking a rip.
Nice.
Years ago. But
Well, I'm Canadian, so that answers your question there. But my wife is, like I said, breastfeeding our child, so it's not a thing. So I'm trying to be supportive. It's not awesome. It's not awesome. It's been a
take one for
while.
the team. Take one for the
Yeah,
team.
yeah. You got to be. It's teamwork. Teamwork
Team
makes
player.
the dream work. Let's get into a big board. Let's start drafting. Let's do what we came here for. 20-second clock. Let's get in. Let's do this. No, we don't need that. I am going to bring up the tool. Do you use an overlay at all?
No, I check in with the solver.com every now and then. And that's fun, especially because it adds your like average pick and it's free. Love that it's free. But I'm planning to, in BBM season, when I have like higher volume, I'll probably pick up on VBO. But in the big board, I've kind of just been more intuition a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I like to know kind of just where I'm at on the fly sort of thing. So it's just helpful for that. I'm not saying you need it or should or whatever.
I'm sure it comes in handy. There's times when I really would like it. The combo tool looks dope, but at this moment I don't use it.
No, fair enough. And the solver will show you for the most part, but you got to like upload your CSV constantly, and it's kind of like
you got to set some time aside to use the solver.
Yeah, and you really got to dig in. You'd have to like have a pen and paper or spreadsheet, write stuff down, all that kind of stuff. And it would just take a while, I feel like. But yeah, the combo tool is fantastic. Either way, I'm not hawking anything. I was just asking.
Oh, it looks legit. I plan to use it, just not yet.
Yeah, especially the combo tool, because if you're doing volume, like you want to know, do I have this guy paired with this guy? If I don't, I should. I'm going to do that. It helps with the kind of gaps in your portfolio if you have a large kind of portfolio and do some volume. I heard this best ball streamer in Canada with the last Wade Woodman wants last name HN. Yeah. There you go. That spells HN right there.
Exactly.
If I say so, then it does.
Exactly.
What's your kind of preferred? Are you top 4 guy? It's super easy in the top 4. You just take one of the guys there, but where do you like to pick? Let's start.
It's funny. I have the most experience out of pick 8. I like the solver shows you're like the most spots you're in. And I'm literally like double the average in spot 8, like well more than everything else. So here at this stage of the contest, I'm a little bit more inclined to just take the best receiver I'm comfortable with, because in general, I'll be fine with whatever running back's left on the board. But it has been getting a little trickier. Like my boy Hampton, usually not there as much. I don't take Saquon that often. So on occasion, if Taylor's there, I'll take Taylor. But I usually would go receiver here.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in that same boat. If it's not Taylor, then I'm taking one of the receivers. And that was a big early in the draft season when, we'll take Taylor if you're good with that.
Yeah. I'm good with that. There's still some receivers in the second I like, and you can push that position a bit more these days, given the prices of running back. Let's go Taylor.
Yeah. So what I was doing early in the season before his ADP was up to 10 is I had Justin Jefferson ranked 10th. Because like you said, you can just at the end of the draft here, just let's get rid of that. Take Justin Jefferson, and then one of these running backs are going to be there. So just take whichever one is there, whichever one you like, and mix it up, whatever. But I'm actually not particularly drafting Justin Jefferson with Kyler. I am not a Kyler believer at all. I don't know where you fall on that. Are you drafting Justin Jefferson? Are you fading him? Where are you at?
At this point, I have enough belief in Kevin O'Connell that I just can't pretend like there isn't hope this season. And like Jefferson, from a talent standpoint, where he's going now, I could see him be better than CeeDee Lamb this year. I could also see him be worse than like Ted McMillan this year. There's risk involved, but like at the end of the day, I got to have some exposure. So now that he's like officially end of the first, I do take him above James Cook. I would take him there at
James
10.
Cook is a weird one. He's a weird one this year. It's kind of all of them are kind of a weird one this year as far as the running backs. Maybe we'll talk about it quick. Just like off the top, even including Gibbs, Robinson, McCaffrey, Taylor, Cook, Genty, Barkley, HN, all of them have the most touches last year of their entire careers, essentially, if not exactly, very close to the most touches in their entire career. So that's got to be concerning to everyone, I think.
For Hampton to fall here, I will lobby for Hampton. I can't pass on Hampton as a Charger fan.
Don't even have him paired up with Taylor, so that actually is amazing.
Yeah, we got a pretty good price on both, especially at the top. Like just a couple picks of falling value really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Even 2 picks in the first round is actually it equates to what, 4 picks in the third round or something like that. Second round.
You go down the board and get a 20 pick fall in like, round 10 or 11. It could be just as valuable, if not less valuable than just a 2 pick drop in the first round. So to start off double running back on this side of the board, especially, I think we're in great shape. The prices these days are tricky, and I understand why the order goes the way it does, but like, I don't think RB3 is definitive at all. I think everyone RB3 through, I view Hampton as the tier break, but I could honestly lump Etienne or Achan, the Saints' new running back, in there as well. Henry, I think, is also a little mispriced, so I pull him up at times. But like from a spike week standpoint, and even like season-long production, I don't think you can convincingly like know 100% who the RB3 should be at this point in time. It's very much up for grabs.
I think you get all the way down to these two even.
Kyron, yes. I'm out on Brees though. In terms of that.
That's fair if you are. I like Geno going there. I like the offensive line. I like Geno being there. So I think you could go all the way down to these guys. Even, I mean, Bucky, I still think he's fine. I'm a little heavily invested, but he's been falling, so I'll keep clicking him. Yeah, that's why I just think like if you can get a falling receiver, or that's why I was taking Jefferson there. London falling, if you pull up Collins, that's fine, whatever, because there's not a huge amount of difference, in my opinion, to let's say like Kenny Walker and, like you said, Etienne, right? There's not a huge difference. And I would say Brees Hall's fine, Kyron's fine in that situation. So I think what I was kind of getting at with a few weeks ago and talking about is I think zero RB is becoming worth thinking about in your portfolio, just because of the amount of touches that we've seen at the top from those running backs.
100%. It's much more valuable, especially as you have more teams that are not like that earlier on. And here I'm going to go AJ Brown if it was me, but I like T Higgins as well if you're interested in that. But I don't have much Tet. I could be talking to Tet. Who do you like here?
I actually really like Tet. I really like Tet here.
Let's do it.
I think let's do that. Let's do Tet right now, and then we'll see what comes back to us. I think of these guys, like even AJ Brown, I was literally, I think like 1% last year on AJ Brown when he was going a full round higher than he is now. Mm-hmm. I think he's okay now in the third round, but I'm not a huge fan of AJ Brown. I'm 0% Rashee Rice. I'm not doing it. It's not happening.
I agree with you full on Rashee Rice. I am opposite though on AJ Brown. I've been heavily invested in AJ Brown so far.
I just want to be near the field, essentially.
Okay.
Like I think I'm 6.5% right now. I'll probably be right around. Yeah, the field is, as I'm sure you know, about 8 point something, 8.7, 8.3%, whatever it is. Yeah. So I want to be around there roughly. I'm not going to be a 0 on AJ Brown, but I don't love him. I think Tet, there's just a lot more meat on that bone. He's the true alpha in that offense, and it's not even close to being close. And there's no way that that's going to change in this year's draft or in free agency unless something wild happens, like AJ Brown ends up in Carolina, which I highly doubt, but you never know. So that's why I'm taking him over all of these guys. I think there's something to be said about Garrett Wilson as well, though. I was hoping he'd fall back to us, but
yeah, that would have been nice. I was big on Tet last year in the fourth and kind of felt a little burned, so I've been like slow to come around to it. But if I just put myself in the mindset of last year and the upside argument, it is still pretty compelling. But I'm just not as convinced on Bryce Young in the third round to feel like I will guarantee production. But we can stack up Chargers with Ladd. I'm not going to be ever go against that. But I like Zay here.
I do that a lot. What do you think about Burden? I haven't taken enough Burden.
He's okay, but I'm kind of tired of pulling him up. Burton's fine though. He should go in the 4th probably at the
Let's
end of
do
the day.
Burden. That's another guy that, again, I just want to be around the field at. And he got some pretty positive pub today from Ben Johnson. So that's encouraging. So I do want to get a little more. I think Loveland is kind of the guy you want in that offense. Yes. But I do like Burden. I'm still an Odunze guy.
Same.
Through and through, kind of. I can't quit him.
I think if the value on Rome falls back to us in the 5th, that's a very compelling click. I'm not convinced that Rome is less valuable than Burden, but I think the injury and like the lack of production year 1 is why people are kind of low on Rome. But moving off of DJ Moore, like last season, it's weird. I feel like Burden's price is just so much because of what happened in week 17, and there's really no like full understanding and context of like the entire season. Like Rome was the guy until he went down, and he tried to play through injury, missed the stretch there, but like before you lost confidence in him, he was an auto start. He was like a top 10 wide receiver every week. You could not take Rome out the lineup, and he also offered that like 25 point value. I don't see much difference between Burden and Rome, to be honest. So like this entire tier is super flat, and to just get a Ben Johnson wide receiver feels pretty safe.
Yeah, to kind of put a bow on that, I was basically full fading Tet last year at his cost. Okay. Not even basically, I think literally I was full fading Tet. It just didn't make sense, but I was clicking Rome Odunze, and they went around the same spot, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. And I was like 30% Rome Odunze, and it was looking great. Like you said, for the first, I think it was like 6-7 weeks, it was looking fantastic. And then the injury happened, and we kind of know the score from there. But to kind of touch on what you said for a second ago there, with the kind of exactly what we're saying about the running back tier or tiers, in the 1st, 2nd, even 3rd round. I think that's basically the 3rd, 4th, 5th round for the wide receivers. So it's kind of, I've been harping on this the whole draft cycle so far. Is like it is such an interesting draft board this year, of just like you can literally do any kind of strategy you want from any draft position. Yeah, let's make this pick, and I'll put a bow on that conversation so we can go. I don't mind going.
I would like Lamar. I would like Lamar. I think he's fallen too far here. I don't care
that.
I don't care it's unstacked. I think with the prices of QB, we're going to want to draft 3, right? Like in general, we either want 2 really strong ones or 3. Like give me Lamar mid-late 5th. Like I think this is too late for Lamar to be going. With his true upside, I know last year was bad, but like the vibes were gross. He got hurt. Before he got hurt, he was averaging like 27 points per game. Like I don't get why Allen goes early 3rd and like there's a full 2+ round difference. Like unstacked is still fine. Lamar is just such a value in my opinion.
A couple things. I think it's fine. Like I don't care. Honestly, I don't care about stacking realistically at all for the most part. It depends. Because I've been saying this again all draft cycle. Look at the first quarterback, Josh Allen, 2nd quarterback, Lamar. Then we've got these guys, Jaden, even Joe Burrow to a degree, but Caleb, Jalen, Drake May, Herbert, Lance, or Lawrence, Dart, all these guys run the ball a little bit. Even like I said, Joe Burrow to an extent, Dak, no, that's fine. Even Mahomes, who knows after the Achilles injury, obviously, but Brock Purdy is the reason why Sam Sherman won $2 million last year running the ball, right? Bo Nix runs the ball a bunch. So all of these quarterbacks run a little bit. And I'm really, I don't particularly care about stacking. Unless we're talking like Dak Prescott, like I said, or Joe Burrow, but I'll take on unstacked Joe Burrow if he falls to me. I just don't think it's entirely necessary, especially in this contest where we don't know week 17. We don't know who's playing who. Yeah, you can correlate, conferences and divisions and stuff like that. Sure. But I just think that's too kind of galaxy brain. I think we got to take some falling value here.
I would agree.
You want to go Jaden, but
no, I like Carnell Tate by far here. It feels so reliable, especially with the dip. I love that.
I'm trying to get a little more Marvin Harrison. I think there's some juice to squeeze out of him, but
I'm trying to get more as well, but I'm like so underweight on it. It's kind of just to make sure I don't have zero. But like I have a hard time clicking both Arizona Cardinals receivers, to be honest with you. I don't quite know what to make of their offense, and I think it's such a flat tier in this range. Like you could legitimately pull up Addison over Harrison. I don't think you're crazy. Like it, I want to be mixing him in, but I have not felt really compelled to trust to Harrison. But
so I'm 0% Michael Wilson. I will not draft Michael Wilson. I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I'll take 0% exposures on lots of guys. And he's one of them. I do not think that it definitely shouldn't be going ahead of Marvin Harrison in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion. I think
that's interesting.
I think if anything, this offense will consolidate back to obviously McBride and then Marvin Harrison Jr. as opposed to Michael Wilson. I tend to stay away from guys that are hurt their entire careers and then get healthy for one season, have a good season. We're paying literally top dollar on Michael Wilson. I personally think that that's bad business, but I might be on an island on that one.
It's hard to estimate because it's like Wilson was just such a bust and then smashed so insanely well. And then Harrison, like, there's so much draft capital they can't give up on him, and then there's also the legacy involved, and like his dad took a while to get going if you look at his actual stats. But
I love Parker Washington here.
I'm down with that
as well.
That sounds good. Yeah,
I am the first ever Parker Washington Bull in the history of football.
I'm still a bit slow to get fully on board. I actually have a bet going with Jerry. I know he's been on your channel. He's Parker Washington straight up this year. I'm Brian Thomas Jr. And as long as Thomas and Parker both stay Jags and play at least 10 games, loser has to pay for a joint bigger board next year. And
you're going to be footing that bill, man.
I don't think so, man. I think from a talent perspective, I feel confident that Brian Thomas will remain the number one. I think it'll be close though. I don't think Parker Washington's just some scrub. But my
argument for you would be that the alpha, the number one, all that doesn't matter. No, what really matters, is Trevor Lawrence. That's what really matters. No, it's Trevor Lawrence. And where does he like to throw the ball? Trevor Lawrence has throughout his career always liked to throw to the slot career receiver. Christian Kirk had a career season out of nowhere, his first season in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence.
Even then Zay Jones.
Tight ends. Yeah, Zay Jones, tight ends have always eaten with Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball. Even going back to college, like who was his slot receiver at Clemson? Was it Hunter Renfrow? It might have been. I can't remember. But
yeah,
going back to college, like he likes to throw inside the numbers. He's not a big, like the only reason, in my opinion, that not the only reason, because I think Brian Thomas is supremely talented. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking shit about Brian Thomas Jr. over here. It's just that Trevor Lawrence doesn't play that way. And when Mac Jones came in, he's about that life.
Yeah.
So it worked out for Brian Thomas Jr. And again, it's not a Brian Thomas Jr. conversation. It's not even a Parker Washington conversation, though I do think he's very talented. It's a Trevor Lawrence conversation.
Well, my argument is like if Parker Washington is actually more productive in fantasy next year and it's not because of injury, that is such a fucking waste. Pardon my language, but like to not use Brian Thomas as your true guy is such a misguided. It doesn't make sense to me. So like, I'm just betting on talent, like true athleticism and like, you know, prospect versus prospect. I just couldn't pass it up. Brian Thomas, my boy. And if the Chargers could somehow trade for him, I would literally buy a Brian Thomas jersey fucking day up. I love Brian Thomas.
I don't hate that. And I'm not disagreeing. Let's make this pick. I don't mind Jaylen Warren at a nice discount.
The discount's not bad. I kind of prefer Dowdle straight up, but I wouldn't mind Warren if you want him. I also like Addison. But we have
Algier over all of these guys personally. But
if you want Algier, that's fine. If you want the value on Warren, that's fine. But if your gut says Algier, go Algier.
Let's take Warren. I do want to get that up a little bit. Let's do that.
We are
you're Dowdle. I'll finish the last point there. What were we talking about?
Thomas?
What was I gonna say? No, yeah, something like that. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. You're Dowdle over Warren straight up. Hey, why is that? Is it the McCarthy connection?
Mainly the McCarthy connection, but I genuinely believe in best ball, particularly when you don't have to decide who to start in Pittsburgh. Dowdle, I think, has more upside. I think Dowdle can have a bigger spike week, and actually, like, if he does crack your lineup week 17, he has the chance to give you 30 points. Warren is lucky to give you like 15. Like, Warren's good enough to stay on the field and maintain like a 40% snap share, but that was with Mike Tomlin. This is a new coaching staff. Everything's up for grabs, and like, Dowdle knows the system. He's a pro as well. He beat out Chuba Hubbard. I think Dowdle has something to prove. They have a game against Carolina, and who knows if that's like the opener or something, but like, just like the Dallas Cowboys revenge game, he will go off, and it will be just undeniable in Pittsburgh. Like, you can't keep him off the field that much. He's going to earn potentially Najee level volume, and I just see the higher payout with Dowdle, but I could just see like seniority in Pittsburgh also keep Dowdle kind of down. But if you can only give me one, give me Rico Dowdle.
So I'm getting a little bit of both because I like them both. B, I think they're both good running backs in the NFL. They can both play the position at an NFL level. But I don't think you're entirely wrong for sure. Like, all of that was with Mike T and, Arthur Smith, or whoever the guy was before him. I can't even remember, but all of that was with the previous coaching staff. So new coaching staff comes in. They don't know anything to Jaylen Warren, and they bring in Rico Dowdle, who does have history. So I just don't necessarily agree. Mind you, he went okay at 93 here. That's fine as far as his price, but I've seen it get up to into the 70s, like a full round in the like 76. I think I saw Dowdle go, which I think is a little aggressive. Considering where he was going as a free agent. I was like 20% or so, 20% plus when he was a free agent. Just because I like Dowdle. I agree with a bunch of the stuff you said. He's shown that he can kind of be that guy, the spike week guy, especially. What do you like here? I'm a big Pittman fan here. There he goes, but we could go Bo Nix. I don't mind that. I'd get another quarterback that I don't mind not stacking, because this is a weird range. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty solid quarterback value on Nix, good rushing value, and doesn't need to be stacked. I kind of like the tight ends here, but I wouldn't mind Bo Nix, and then not having to worry if we don't get a good stack later. I'm good Bo Nix at this price.
Yeah, I think we'll take that. I think it's a weird range. I'm not. Yeah. I don't really care about tight ends, if I'm being honest. If I get some nice discount on it, then yeah, I'll definitely click those types of guys. But I'm 4%, 3% Laporta, sure, but like, you can just get, like, I can get Kyle Pitts right here potentially. I can get Kyle Pitts right here. You know what I mean? Like, it's fairly replaceable. Kyle Pitts, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it's very flat as far as like the top end potential at the position, where I think it's just super, super, super replaceable.
I do go to bat for Laporta above just about anyone at tight end recently. I've checked my exposures, and now like Laporta is clearly my guy. And like, I think his ceiling is very hard to replicate going forward, other than like Kittle, who's going to be injured. Laporta speaks to me as like a really good value in a tier of like, could be tight end 3. This price is pretty nice on Laporta, and he's been falling to the 110s. I don't get it.
Does the back not concern you? Back surgery?
That was 3 months ago, man. Like, it's only March, bro. Like,
no. It's a back, like backs and necks in football. Just make me a little nervous.
I get it, but like, Gronk had a lot of back problems. He was still the best tight end ever. And I'm not saying Laporta is that good, but like, it's the Lions offense. And like 2 years ago, he was the tight end 1. Like, his rookie production was like insane. We drafted him in round 2 recently. Not that he paid off, but like the upside.
I didn't. I'll tell you that.
I didn't take him much either, but like, that's where he was going, like,
I mean, I'll take Pitts here. Yeah.
If we're just going to get all these fallers, like we have not made a top of ADP pick in a while, like, but I'll take it here. This is a good price. Yesterday I took Fannin at 103.
Have we at all? The only Luther Burden 1.2 picks ahead of ADP.
Since
the only pick. No, literally the only pick ahead of any kind of ADP. Yeah. Like Ted McMillan, 0.04. It's right at ADP. But I'm just saying, technically, one player ahead of ADP. So that's kind of wild to me to get this deep into a draft and have one click that's technically ahead of ADP. That's insane.
I mean, even Taylor and Hampton were behind ADP.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild to get that kind of falling value in a stream draft. You don't usually get a lot of EV in the stream draft streets. So it's good to see it when it happens to you.
Yeah, if it's this easy all the time, I'll take it.
Yeah. Digging the start at every position. Yeah, it's working out. This is like we've kind of been talking about, alluding to. It's literally just fallen into our lap. Like a monkey could have clicked these buttons, to be honest with you.
No, we legitimately have just been on autopilot. Except for
like the Warren decision was kind of the one. Like it could have been Algier, could have been Dowdle,
right?
Could have been Warren. That was the only one where we kind of made a decision. But realistically, and Burden and Tet, I guess. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty autopilot clicks. Just take the falling value. So I do like Kyle Pitts with Kevin Stefanski, though. I'll say that I really do.
Same, very high upside, and if the trend continues, he's locked into 5 touchdowns this year. You know, it's just going to be one more every season. So keep it going, keep it going.
Yeah, hopefully the yards are there. I do have concerns about the quarterback situation, but it is what it is. It's Kevin Stefanski, and he's got two kind of I should say, whoever wins the job. And I actually am inclined to think it's Tua, but
I think so too. I was going to ask you that question if you were more pro Penix or Tua.
I'm definitely pro Tua, though regardless, I absolutely despise left-handed quarterbacks.
Well, I think at least they're no
place. Yeah, exactly. There's no place in the game for left-handed quarterbacks, if I'm being honest. I just think they're awful, and history has kind of been on my side on that one. But either way, let's make this pick and we'll put a bow on that one.
Ooh, would have liked to take Golden there, honestly, but here we actually have to make a decision. I'm usually Rachaad White, but I could see Mike Washington be valuable. I don't really like
one. Who do you want? Who do you want?
Give me Mike Washington.
Let's do it.
I think with the room we have, give me the ceiling. We already got the floor in Warren, really good production with Taylor and Hampton. Let's take the true like lottery ticket, because Rachaad is nice, but like he's just not good enough to convince me they're not drafting someone if they don't have the chance to, and like. He'll stay on the field, but only in like pass protection for the most part. Mike Washington could like just be who you need.
Yeah. So Rachaad White or JCM?
I'm Rachaad White straight up over JCM. I think JCM can continue to fall, but
I like that. Yeah, I think they're super live. I've been saying it all cycle that Jeremiah Love does not get past the Commanders at 7. If he's there at 7, they sprint like someone's tearing their ACL on the way to the podium. I guarantee you that. If he's there at 7, someone's ripping an Achilles. Absolutely. So he's not getting. That's again. I've been saying it over and over. That is why we saw the Saints and the Chiefs go out and spend some money on a running back, because they knew there's not a chance in hell that they're getting Jeremiah Love past 7. So I think I agree with that. Like, to be honest, both could be just completely replaced.
There's a chance.
I'm not exceptionally comfortable drafting either one, if I'm being honest. But
this new price on Rachaad, when I feel desperate at running back and I just want the floor, I will take Rachaad in the 12th. But on the roster we have, I don't think that is that helpful compared to the upside of Mike Washington.
I'm with you on that. And I'm basically zero JCM. The reason I have a ton of Rachaad White or more Rachaad White is I was taking him when he was still a free agent, because I thought there was definitely some meat on that bone. But here we are.
I was at like 20% Rachaad, and my average click was like 163.
That's nice. Yeah, that works. We got some options here. We could still go Rachaad White. I like Chris Rodriguez here as well. We could definitely pull up Omar Cooper a little bit. We do kind of need wide receiver.
I'm going to lobby for Omar Cooper Jr. I think the build is more leaning receiver. And while I like this value on Rachaad, I like the value on C-Rod. We just took Mike Washington. I don't want to double tap. I'll take Cooper.
I'm good with that. I'm 25% Omar Cooper Jr.
I'll have to look it up. He's creeping up to my number 1. He'll
never touch number 1 for me, but He's that 25% is pretty high, but
he's my number 2 at 27, and Jeremy Bernard is my number 1 at 33 at receiver.
Oh man, of my own heart. That's rookie numbers on Jeremy Bernard.
I know I can't compare.
I just think I literally, and I don't know if you've heard me say this or not, but they are literally the exact same bet. Omar Cooper is just getting inflated incredibly, and it's really realistic. Like, I love Omar Cooper, don't get me wrong, but it is unjustified if I'm being honest. It really is. They are literally the exact same bet. They're borderline the same player. They literally are comped to the same player by two guys I respect a lot, Lance Zierlein and Daniel Jeremiah. Comp them to the same player, which is Robert Woods. So they're the same fucking guy, man. It's the Spider-Man meme. Like, they're literally the same guy. So they play the same way. Everything is the same, but for some reason, everybody's out there saying Omar Cooper Jr. is some sort of like savant and just wide receiver crusher over here.
I got to shout out
Bernard's not.
I got to shout out Huhames for putting me onto Omar Cooper Jr. I would say Huhames has shaped most of my like rookie perceptions aside from my own like research, but I sure hope the landing spot's correct. That's really the only way I don't think he pays off. But yeah, I see a lot of rookie receivers in the late first to like second round, pretty comparable. And then it's just kind of like, where do they go? But the names I like the most are Omar and Jeremy for sure. In terms of like ADP value.
I would definitely agree with that. Do you want to go like this? One of these two are fine for me.
I think the higher upside is likely. I'd rather take likely, but the stack with Andrews makes more sense. Whoever you want. But Bryce Young's also kind of on the table. But in my heart, give me Isaiah Likely.
Well, let's take Mark Andrews for the first thing he said. I agree with that. I have 21% likely. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big likely guy, but I do want to mix in when we get a shot. And to be honest, like, Mark Andrews is so underpriced. It is such a discount on Mark Andrews down here. So I'm to be honest, I need to get that percentage up a little bit. I think 20% minimum Mark Andrews at this price is prudent.
I will give that one caveat though. If they draft Kenyon Sadiq, I think this could be a big slap in the face type of.
I would agree with that, but I don't think that this regime, this coaching staff would do that if it was still the old staff and Isaiah Likely moves on. Then I think Kenyon Sadiq would make a lot of sense. I also am not so sure that he makes it there. I'm not
That's fair.
Privately lobbying for this team logo you see behind me to draft.
I was going to say the Bengals need one too.
I'm borderline. I'm thinking about starting to pound the table for it, but I need to do a little more. I haven't dug in to my mock draft stuff yet. But right this second, gun to my head, give me Sonny Styles or Kenyon Sadiq, and we'll see who's there. But
okay.
But that's my take right this second.
This would be funny if it's just still top of ADP again. At least we didn't do that with Andrews. We did mix it up, but
we're not taking Zach Charbonnet. If that's,
I think it's fun to take on every now and then. But if you don't want, he goes. So don't even.
I hate him. I hate him. Who do you like here? Like,
show me receiver. Show me wide receiver, because I'd be down to pull up Christian Kirk, honestly. I kind of hate receiver in this range. I don't like A.D. Mitchell. Debo, though. Debo feels pretty legit.
Let's take Debo if we can. Oh, my God. I tried to click him for you.
That's all right.
I like Adonai Mitchell in this range.
I do not.
I was going to make a case for Tyrone Tracy. Why don't you like A.D. Mitchell?
It's the Jets, man. It's the fucking Jets. And, like, other than garbage time, like, what are you really like betting on? And like, you're just saying that Garrett Wilson's going to get injured again. Like, I just don't trust the offense to keep multiple guys viable. I could also see them draft a receiver very easily. Like, I am not convinced until the draft is over that A.D. Mitchell, that was traded for chump change after he fumbled through the end zone and had nothing going for him his rookie season, is like actually going to deliver, just because the Jets are going to suck. And like, Geno can pad the stats. I'll give you that. Geno can put up a worthless 330-yard game every now and then. But like, in general, giving me a Jet that's not even the guy makes me kind of want.
I'm all right. I'm all right with the take. I'm all right with the take. I'm not going to push back on it, but I'm betting on the talent. I think AD Mitchell is a very, very talented wide receiver. I thought he was
Very
a first
talented.
round talent when I don't know if I think he was a second round pick. I think
Yeah, he's
early
pick 50.
second.
Pick 50.
Yeah, but I think he was a first round talent. Number one. Number two. Geno is very good at throwing for 300 plus, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, or 3 interceptions, either one, which is fine by me. And the Jets are going to be bad. We all know that their defense is very not good. Though I think Aaron Glenn gets the best he can out of what he has, but they're not a good defense. So I think Geno, when he's allowed to just go out and sling it, that's exactly what he's going to do, and just say, fuck them interceptions. There's, AD Mitchell's down there somewhere, and just sling it. So,
well, I just see that as him saying Garrett Wilson's down there somewhere. Fuck it. Or Jordan Tyson's down there. Fuck it. Like I just don't see him as the guy. But I like Trey Harris a lot. I love Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby is my guy, but don't think we're desperate for running back. Honestly, I would go Tank Dell. I mean Trey Harris. Trey Harris. My bad. The team.
Yeah. I'm 0% Tank Dell.
No, not Tank Dell. Yeah.
Okay,
give me Trey Harris.
I'm not clicking Tank Dell. I love Tank Dell, but
I saw him when I was saying it, and that was just a slip up. But Trey Harris for sure.
I took a click of Tyreek Hill at pick 1. I think it was 194.
Okay, yeah, and that price I'm in.
I felt like it was okay. It felt gross. Don't get me wrong, but 17th round Tyreek Hill one time in my portfolio.
That late. I'm not going to fret about it. It's fine. We're expecting a bunch of zeros at this point.
Yeah. It was a set 9 wide receiver build.
Yeah,
17th round, 20 plus picks past ADP. I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay.
Can I see?
I think we're
running back real quick.
We're done at quarterback, correct?
Most likely, yeah. I don't, unless we got Bryce Young, I don't think there was anyone like really compelling to put on the team.
I personally would have been Dylan Sampson over Trey Harris there, but that's all right.
Until they sign another receiver, Trey Harris might be one of the best values this late, man. I think he was a round 2 pick, and Keenan Allen just kept him off the field, but they're not going to not try to develop him with Quentin Johnston in a contract season. Like, they can move off of Quentin Johnston, and Trey Harris is the man. Let's get that going. So
he was my number 2 wide receiver last year in my rookie rankings. So I like Trey Harris quite a bit. I don't disagree. I'm over 10% on him. I don't disagree.
Very nice.
I was just thinking structurally it might have made.
We are betting a little bit on the running backs we already have, but I think we're gonna get my guy here. I really doubt the snipe happens. If it does, it'll suck. But I don't want to jinx it, so I'll wait for us to be on the clock. But if he's there, there's no way I'm letting you not click Tank Bigsby.
I figured that's who you want. I'm trying to get more, so I'm okay with that. I'm only 3.3%, so I'm trying to get a little more.
Rookie numbers, jeez.
Yeah,
I'm 36% Tank Bigsby.
Oh wow, I believe off the top of my head, Tank Bigsby was number 2 in my running back rankings when he was coming out of college. Actually, I'm a big Tank Bigsby guy. I really like his college tape was fantastic at Auburn. He was very good. I liked him at the Jags as well. He just never kind of got enough of an opportunity, and he looked good with pretty limited touches last year, but he looked good.
He is also in a contract season, and if the Eagles are like sitting anyone in the final weeks of the season, like Bigsby will be a 20 touch guy that he could be a 0 though. He could absolutely be a 0.
He could, but he's one of those guys that I was alluding to earlier, where we was talking about all these running backs at the top that are coming off of career touches.
Yep.
Right. Where it's Saquon Barkley, it's James Cook, it's potentially Hampton, it's Jonathan Taylor, it's Christian McCaffrey. And where do their handcuffs go? Literally where we just picked Tank Bigsby is where they all kind of go. Ray Davis, right? Tank Bigsby, Jordan James. All these kind of guys go at the very bottom of the draft. So that's why I was saying earlier, like 0 RB is actually pretty viable realistically. If you can get like a Tootin, who cares? Like Tootin, Swift, Montgomery, Monagai, Corum, Dowdle, these guys right in here, get 2 of them or 3 of them sort of thing. and then just stack up on these Bigsby's, Jordan James, Ray Davis, these handcuff guys that'll have all of it. DJ Giddens, who may or may not be replaced, and some Bigsby might be replaced. Jordan James might be replaced. We have no idea. But at this time, they are the direct handcuff and to getting pretty much all of the work. So I think it could be viable. Obviously, you need an injury, but again, that's betting on these career touches for all these guys up at the top.
I wouldn't hate Darnell Mooney here. I think Njoku has been linked to the Ravens, so that's a sneaky stack potential. I click a lot of Njoku personally, but if you have a running back, like that's fine.
I kind of like Auden, or I like the floor of production I'm getting out of Auden, and like Njoku, I definitely wouldn't want both the Ravens tight ends personally.
Yeah, that's fine. Auden is a very good click here. I would like more Auden as well, so that feels good.
And it's just a high floor, easy click. You know, Pitts is our ceiling guy, and yeah, I had a feeling all of these tight ends would kind of fly off the board after that. I think Freiermuth is fine, but he might be gone by the time he gets back to us, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big Darnell Mooney guy personally.
At this stage, it feels like an okay click, but if Jeremy's above him, then yeah, that would have probably been the more correct direction.
But above everyone, but he already went.
Yeah, I like Mooney's return to Matt Nagy's system. That was his best career year, but obviously it's just like there was a ton of production that left with Wandale leaving. How much of that just stays with Neighbors or goes to Likely? But I don't believe in Darius Slayton, so I think Mooney will get on the field at least.
I actually do believe in Darius Slayton. He's kind of always gotten on the field, but like he's always done it in his entire career. He's always gotten on the field. He's always basically been number one in snaps. But I mean, I just have a hard time believing in Darnell Mooney.
We don't have to take him. It's not the most appealing click, but I'm fine with it. If you don't like it, then I would be Ray Davis here personally. But if you like Katron,
I mean, I'm huge into Katron just for the kind of unknown, and he can land somewhere and have a pretty decent role.
Yeah.
Najee as well. Like they're similar bets. Ray Day's fine as well. If you want to go that route, we can.
Whichever one you want of those three, I would lobby for Ray Day.
We can do that because, like we just talked about, Tank Bigsby, Ray Davis. If there's an injury to either of those running backs, we are just slipping and falling into a league winner potentially. And that again, that's why these zero RB structures could work, is because you're falling into a league winner. Not just, this guy's good. He's a Jalen Warren type of a production. He's literally going to win you probably at least your pod and potentially the entire thing. So,
yeah, if he does crack our lineup, it's because he gets the starting role. Maybe a random spike week touchdown, but would be nice. Sure. But it's the Bills' offense, and like we also have enough production up top in this room where it's not going to be that easy to crack the lineup unless Taylor or Hampton go down in theory. I'm a believer that Hampton will absolutely pay off.
In which case we're dead anyways. So like that's something I always like to talk about too, is like we draft like we're right. So we took these two at the top. They're pretty much locked into our lineup and set it and forget it. Right? We don't need to worry about it. If these guys crack our lineup, cool. And Tank Bigsby and Ray Davis could be zeros in this lineup. They absolutely could, but we've afforded ourselves, the ability to draft that way because we took these two up top. So again, if Taylor or Hampton go down, this team is dead anyways. So what's the difference between taking Ray Davis or Najee Harris? There's really no difference. It's not going to win us anything if that's the case.
Yeah, I noticed that Pat Bryant and Franklin did not fall at all. The same team drafted him. Maybe bitter we took Bo Nix, but there's not much of a stack for Bo Nix available. Last I remember.
No, and to be honest, I don't even think it's a good click to take either of those guys, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. I
would honestly rather just take him naked, but we could take another running back, but I'm okay with taking two more wide receivers. Who do you like?
I'm okay with Kyle Williams here. I'm also okay with Rashad Bateman, given we have Lamar. Bateman makes some sense, but I prefer Kyle.
I hate Bateman. He's 0% Bateman.
I have more Walker than Bateman, so I'm not gonna.
Me too.
Push for him.
Kyle Williams is my guy from last year, so I'm okay to take him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, and like unless they do trade for AJ Brown or something, like I can't imagine they don't try to make the round 3, second year option work in some way. Romeo Dobbs doesn't give me enough confidence that like Kyle Williams can't make some noise this year in a big way. At the very least, maybe to the detriment of Kayshon Boutte, but I see a solid investment in Kyle Williams that I don't think is just going to disappear. And he's got the skill set for spikes. I think he's fine.
I'm gonna put a bow on that Kyle Williams in a second here, because he is literally, everyone that watches my show knows how high I was on Kyle Williams last year and still am realistically, but we'll put a bow on that in a second. But we'll take one more receiver, because I do think that this room needs one more.
Yeah, I would agree.
As opposed to our running back room. So do you have any favorite rookies? I'm a big Ted Hurst guy. I take a lot of Jalen Noel. I'm getting up there a little bit in Antonio Williams.
Yep, all those make sense. I do think Yoshivas is a little interesting. Can I interest you in a Yoshivas unstacked at all? I get it if you don't want it.
Yep. No, I'm okay with that. I'm 4.9%. I'm kind of right there. I like Skylar Bell as well, but I'm good.
He's sneaky. Maybe Sadiq really screws it over, but like T. Higgins is not reliable enough to always stay healthy, and like Yoshi is like clearly the number 3 tied to Joe Burrow. If he does hit the lineup, he can give you 2 touchdowns in a game. Round 20. Lesser owned player, I think, for the sake of being unique, it's fine to take, but I usually only do it with Burrow. But given your fandom, I feel like we need a Bengal.
No, I'm good. I'm good on Yoshivas. He's habitually overrated always, sort of thing. So give me some Yoshivas. But with the Kyle Williams conversation, I think that the AJ Brown trade is kind of dead, if not dying, or dying if not dead already. There was some
we'll see about that.
Well, there's some conversation today, and who knows, that could obviously just be lip service and them trying to, keep their cards close to their chest. But they were saying like, yeah, he's an Eagle, and it's not going to change anytime soon. I think the asking price might be a little bit too high. I think the Patriots, they think that they're good to get to the Super Bowl and potentially win the Super Bowl without AJ Brown. So do we need that hassle? Do we need to spend the money? Do we need to spend the draft capital? Do we need to do these things? And then with Kyle Williams, I would argue that he basically is like pretty close to Stephon Diggs as far as his skill set. Very, very similar as far as his skill set is concerned. So if Boutte keeps doing what he's doing on the outside, Mac Hollins is still under contract, so he can do the same thing. And realistically, it's obviously Stephon Diggs, whose role is no longer there, and who fits that mold on that team. It's 1,000,000% Kyle Williams. So we know that they like him. We've heard Vrabel have some positive things to say about him. And he can definitely spike into your lineup, which we saw 3 times last year, minimum twice, but I think he made it 3 times. So yeah, you definitely don't need to sell me on Kyle Williams. He's kind of my guy. He's my dude. So
I'm also very interested in just the Drake made down the field, play action, and just he chucks it, man. He's not afraid. He's gonna be very motivated off the Super Bowl flop. I don't think Drake May has the mindset where, like Cam Newton fell off a cliff after he lost the Super Bowl. I don't think Drake May is going to be in the same situation. And like, he will take some shots this year to Kyle Williams. It's kind of the same logic as like Trey Harris. Like they just didn't get on the field, but to pretend like that team has given up on them. I'll bet against that at this price. Very late.
Yeah.
Especially
with draft capital, considering second round pick for Trey Harris, I believe, early third round pick for Kyle Williams. I think he was 3-2.
Yeah, right. No, late round 2 for Harris, early round 3. You're correct.
So and on the teams that they played for, so it's a different conversation with Adonai Mitchell. But on the teams that they played for, they sunk that draft capital into them, and it's the head coaches, at least, of the teams that drafted them are still there. So definitely not same offensive coordinator, but it's a better offensive system now for the Chargers. So I'll take that for Trey Harris. But let's go through the team quickly. I don't know if you have time for another one. It's up to you.
I do. Yeah, I'd love to do a second one.
Okay, let's do it. We got a 2, 6, 9, 3. Lamar Jackson, Bo Nix. I honestly think we're fine. I personally always look for ways to stop at 2 quarterbacks. I think it's more of a gamble. I agree. I get it, and it's less likely to advance. I know, but it's more likely to win the entire contest. So I look for ways to stop at 2 personally.
The value of Lamar there, man. Like even unstacked, like it's gonna pay dividends. It takes that pressure off of you for a very long time. You don't get stuck if you get sniped on who you want at quarterback.
When you spend that kind of draft capital on a quarterback and then another in, what was that, 10th round, 9th round, whatever it was on Bo Nix, like it's I think when you sink that kind of draft capital in there, then you kind of owe it to yourself to just stop it too. But Lamar Jackson, Bo Nix, we got Jonathan Taylor, Marion Hampton, Jalen Warren, Mike Washington, Tank Bigsby, and Ray Davis. I think that's more than capable.
I would agree.
I like that. We got Tedero McMillan, Luther Burden, Tate Washington, Cooper, Mitchell, Harris, Williams, Yoshi Voss. It's a little thin, like on the surface. If you just like look at it on paper, it seems a little thin, but I think we can definitely get there. It's a lot of like wide receiver 2s or 1A, 1B types, but I think there's enough volume there where we can get a guy to crack. Well, we can get 3 guys to crack our lineup, potentially 4 week in and week out.
Is A.D. Mitchell or Andre Yoshivas the player with the most experience? Or is it Parker? Does Parker Washington have the most games played of all our receivers? We're going young. We're taking our shots, man. But like the year 2 leap is real. Like let's bet on the breakouts. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
I don't normally go this direction. Like some of these names are not, especially A.D. Mitchell and Tet McMillan is not a high investment for me. But like as long as the Tet pick is correct, I think we're in great shape. And he should at the very least do what he did last year. I think he'll be better than last year. So he's got that capability for sure.
Definitely. I think we'd be feeling a little better. And maybe Terry McLaurin was the correct click where we took Luther Burden just as far as, again, on paper, but
or Zay Flowers.
I always think it's Terry McLaurin personally.
Really?
I think he's the best pick in the 4th round, Terry McLaurin.
Knowing we got the Lamar stack?
I mean, yeah, sure. But I'm happy to just get Mark Andrews. Like,
that's fair.
Zay is not a touchdown guy, really. So
in general, no.
So it's not really a guy that I want to link up with Lamar Jackson too much. Like, sure, a little bit here and there, but I'm not just drooling to pair them up.
I get it.
So I think if it was Terry McLaurin, just as far as like a true alpha number 1 wide receiver on his team, no questions asked, even a rookie coming in couldn't replace that. I guess unless it was at 7, which I just highly doubt personally, but you never know. But even like if Carnell Tate goes to Washington Commanders at 7, he's not the number 1 alpha wide receiver. It's still Terry McLaurin. The only guy that could really take that would be Jordan Tyson, if you believe he can stay healthy. And if you think that they're taking him at 7, I've got, what's the saying? I got a boat to sell you, or I don't know what the saying is, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. There's a sucker every day.
Exactly. So tight ends, we got Kyle Pitts, Mark Andrews, Cade Otton. I think that's more than fine. We'll actually even get a flex play once or twice, I think, in there potentially. Yeah. So I think that can definitely
phenomenal price on Pitts there. Like the prices as well, just like make this team so much more logical and like valuable. I think it's going to be hard to replicate this like exact roster. Even just like 60% of some of the values.
Definitely unique. Yeah. Definitely unique.
Let's
rip another quick big board. Let's get in there. If you're in the chat and want to draft, we're waiting on 4. Sure, it'll fill fairly quickly. Let's just leave the combo tool off and just vibe draft this one. Let's see where we get. I'm similar to you. I'm always in the back half of the draft room typically. Though I'm getting, at the field for my top, basically the whole top 6. So that's good.
Okay.
That feels good.
We got pick 7. So a very, very similar vein, but like Huham says in the chat, yo, hit that like button. It sounds like we're under draft 2. Not only hit the like button, but get my man up in the subscribers. He's coming up over 700. Get in before he hits the 1K. That is a badge of honor to be a subscriber before you hit the 1K. To know exactly what number you are is a badge of honor. This guy deserves it. Hit the subscribe. and hit the like button.
Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. We got we haven't even asked for that. By we, I mean me. No one's asked for the like or the subscribe all stream. We're an hour
We've been
in.
vibing, man. We've had a good time.
Yeah. So hit that like button if you don't mind. For some reason, like I don't get a crazy amount of live likes, but they always end up getting there through the views. I don't know. It is what hit the like button. What I always do personally when I'm watching people's streams, when I go in, I hit the like button. It's not like I'm gonna go into a stream and be like, fuck this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I now hate Who Hames. I now hate Nice and Blunt. I now hate PBR Tyler or BBG. I'm just not going to like their stream. So just hit it when you walk in. You know?
It's a very easy thing to do. It's free, and it's the easiest thing you can do to support the content that we're putting out. But like in general, I understand how you can forget. Like if you watch on the TV, it's so difficult. And then if you watch on your phone, the live chat just blocks it. And if you never X out of the live chat, then you don't see even the option to like it. So I get it why you can slip on it, but it goes a long way. So it's nice to see it return. But
let's go in another direction here. Oh, it's Taylor's gone anyways, but we could do one of these wide receivers. I don't mind taking a little bit more McCaffrey because I have barely any.
I'm okay with that. I have barely any CD Lamb. So if you want Lamb, I can go for it. But I love Amon-Ra as well. Whoever you want, I'm not gonna.
Let's take CD then. Let's take CD. I kind of like to either pull up or push down McCaffrey, so I don't necessarily want to take him right at ADP, and I do want to be below the field. But to put a bow on that as well, Nice and Blunt, Adam's channel link down in the description. If for some reason you're not following down there or subscribe to him, click the description in the link. Click it. It takes 5 clicks, not even. Click, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Let's get him up to 10K. You're on the brink of 10K over here. So shit.
I'm getting close, man. Getting close, but it's still a grind. Honestly, a lot of times this time of year, I think some of the people that subscribe are so locked in just the season takes I have that if I don't go live for a few days, I'll lose a subscriber or two. Like it goes up and down if I'm not consistent with it. So at this point in time, I'm just trying to gain knowledge and. You know, we'll get there when we get there, but much appreciated for the plug.
Of course,
happy to
watch on the TV, but I get you. We got Peanut Punch in here. Appreciate that. Yeah, the TV is like impossible. I don't even know how to
even just TV. To search with the TV remote is a nightmare. Like
it is.
I'm computer or phone exclusively.
Yeah, so am I. I don't even know how to like it on the TV. And I'm not even signed in. You know, it's funny. This is an adult conversation. Me and my wife, we got a new TV recently for the second floor with the baby. So we got a new TV. We're setting it all up with the apps and everything like that. We get YouTube and I'm like, oh, should I sign in? Or do you want to sign in or should I sign in? She's like, well, you know, if we start watching stuff, then it'll throw off our algorithms. Right. So I don't want to start seeing your videos, and I'm sure you don't want to start seeing my workout videos and ever. And I'm like, good point. Say, you know, we'll stay as a guest.
No, I can relate to that. When I went on Who Hames' channel, my girlfriend watched, and then I went on her YouTube TV a few weeks later, and one of the suggested channels was Who Hames. I was like, I'm sure this is not like she doesn't even watch. You know, in depth on she has no idea what I'm talking about, but it was funny how that works.
Yeah, classic stuff. You have to sync the app to the TV, easy stuff. I'm 40 years old, man. Like I'm not the tech guy. I'm not the tech bro, to be honest, but I'm sure it is easy. I'm just kind of a knucklehead with that kind of stuff. Your boy Hampton goes.
That's fine.
I mean, we could do some zero RB type stuff.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Depending on
Drake London,
this move, I'm more Neighbors over London, but I have less London, so I'd be okay with that. I think Neighbors.
I like Love. I do like Love. If you want to go down that road,
let's stay balanced. Let's go Jeremiah.
I just am a huge Jeremiah guy. At one point in the draft cycle, I was 30+% Jeremiah Love. I'm down under 20 now, but
back to our discussion last draft, these minor drops in prices in the top 2 rounds are so much more valuable. What did you fall? 3 picks?
Yeah, yeah. So again, that's worth, like you said, 20 late in the draft sort of thing. It's
Potential.
equal
Yeah,
potentially.
potential.
Yeah, we'll see where he lands. I mean, I think though, I think earlier in the draft season there, I was saying the Titans make more sense. But now I'm kind of flipping it, and I'm thinking the Giants would be a better landing spot. The offense, I'm kind of torn. I want the Commanders, like that's 100%. If it's the Commanders, he's an absolute smash, great click, great spot. Love it if it's the Commanders. If it's not, then it's the Titans or the Giants. The Titans have a much better offensive line, and probably not even probably they have a better offensive coordinator for sure, Dable versus Nagy. So give me the Titans as far as that concerned, but there's a little more competition there. It depends on if Pollard leaves or not. Then there's just more convolution to the conversation. But with the Giants, like he's head and shoulders better than Scatterbu, Tracy, whatever, but the offensive line's a little lacking. So it's a weird, I don't really know what I like for Jeremiah Love. I know he's the best running back in this class, no question. And he's going to be the guy regardless. Who do you like here?
I would like Etienne. I would like Etienne.
Etienne? Let's do Travis Etienne.
Yeah. However it's pronounced, give me the Saints back. I'll bet on Kellen Moore, and that says they have a phenomenal schedule this year. I think the Saints are live to win the division, on top of all the fantasy.
I think that'd be a sneaky bet. I think that'd be a sneaky good bet, honestly. The offensive line is fantastic. You're going to get your offensive plays in a Kellen Moore system. He rolls the offense. He's an offensive guy. We'll say that.
He may not have as many passes, but from a volume standpoint, Saquon put up 2K with Kellen Moore. I'm not going to expect that. It's a different situation, but the commitment to running back is not lost on Kellen Moore.
And it's a very good offensive line, very stacked first, second round picks in the offensive line. So I do like him a lot as long as he stays healthy. Obviously, the concern for the division bet, little separate for the division bet you're saying. My concern would be the defense. There's still a lot of work to be done because they transitioned the whole thing after years and years and years of Dennis Allen, and then Brandon Stokely comes in, and it's just or Staley, sorry, or Stokely, Staley. Man,
the
I'm
GM,
like old players' names. No, the defensive coordinator.
Oh, the DC,
the former head coach of the Chargers.
The Chargers coaching staff is flipped in New Orleans from Staley.
Staley, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Brandon Staley comes in, completely different defense, completely everything. It couldn't be more different as far as the defense is concerned. So just to like flip over the personnel takes some time. So that would, but I do like that would be a sneaky good bet. Honestly, I would get on board with that.
They've been in cap space hell for like 5 years too. So like for them to finally have the chance to spend big money in free agency and to give it to ETN, like that decision was not made lightly. I thought they were like a Jeremiah Love dream spot, to be honest. That's where I really wanted him to go. The Saints I thought would work. Love Fuaga at right tackle as well. Like they got some pieces. They got some upside for sure.
Absolutely. I just think they looked in the mirror and said, "There's no way he's going to be there. There's just no way he gets past the Commanders." I think they just knew that, and they said, "Hey, this guy's out there in free agency. Let's go get him."
Same with the Chiefs. I'd rather go Javonte, but given we need receiver, I would lobby for JMO. I would lobby for Terry. I know you like Terry. Flowers is good, but you like Terry. I'm comfortable with Terry. Divisional. We might be getting double Washington potentially.
Exactly.
Let's go Terry.
Very possible. And then the division correlation's fun with Lamb. And this start is just, I think, super strong at wide receiver. I don't know if it gets better than this start through the fourth round when you have two stud running backs as well. If I'm being honest, like pick for pick, give me our team over this one. Give me our team over this one. We'll see what this guy does, but
yeah, that's fair.
I think as far as like a two running back, two wide receiver start, I really don't think you can get much stronger than what we did personally.
Round 4 is very flat and like a bit just like spike week driven. But like if Terry is just healthy and doesn't have the holdout and just like maintains number one status. Nightmare scenario, they draft like Cardinal Tate, I suppose, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's a nightmare at all. I think if anything, that's
Really?
completely fine for McLaurin. Completely fine. He's the only gig in town right now. He needs
that's
help.
like worst case scenario, but it's like it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. Like that's as bad as it can get for Terry.
Exactly, because they're not drafting Jordan Tyson there. That's not happening.
No.
It could be Lemon, it could be Tate, but neither of those guys like kill Terry McLaurin. I would actually argue that it potentially could help him quite a bit because there's nothing else there to help him as far as weapons. Chigakonkwo is the number 2 pass catcher in that offense as we sit right now
at the moment,
March 30th or whatever day we are. So I would be completely fine if they bring in a rookie wide receiver at 7. Honestly, they definitely address the position in the draft, whether it's at 7 or second, third round, whatever. But I just know for a fact that there's no way in hell it's going to kill Terry McLaurin.
Here, I would love Rome Odunze.
Yeah, I'm in on that. We
took Lamar in the last one. Maybe it's the wrong pick, but let's not do the same thing. Let's try and get a little different. But it would have been a much different Lamar Jackson team, at the very least.
It would have, but we have some options as far as quarterback is concerned.
Yeah, I'm willing to take the gamble that Daniels comes back. I've seen it happen. It probably doesn't, but I'm willing to gamble that it can.
Yeah, it definitely can. He fell to, I think, 68 in our last draft room. So
I've taken him at 71 with Terry before. There are times when the room disregards Jaden Daniels a little bit. But
I've done the same, and it's criminal, to be honest, because his ADP, I think, is 47.
Well, if anything, we're just manifesting a snipe then.
pretty much. Green Bean right here. Green Bean, Murder, Emder might. But he did just take Lamar Jackson, so we might be okay with that. But
we'll see. It's worth a shot.
Either way, we got options. So
we lose Caleb as a stacking option. We still have Dak though, and then
there goes Caleb.
I also think Tyler Shuck with Achan is not the worst thing ever, but it's not as good.
Do you think Brandon Ayuk's going to be a Washington Commander? Personally, I don't. I'm not sure. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. That definitely doesn't hurt Terry McLaurin. But if I'm an NFL franchise, I probably don't want anything to do with Terry McLaurin or Brandon Ayuk personally. But
I know the Niners decide his fate, and I expect them to drag their feet and hold him in, free agency jail as long as possible. And that's where I think he might just take a discount because like no one's going to really want him. It's going to be a 1-year prove it deal. He at least has the chemistry with Jaden. If he does sign somewhere, I think the most likely spot is Washington, but it's still kind of low in terms of percentages.
Either of these wide receivers, I'm fine with taking Joe Burrow personally. Or we could pull up like a Parker Washington.
I would have wanted Mekhi there. So if you want Burrow, I'd rather go Burrow than Harrison, to be honest. The stack it doesn't apply, but we'd be pulling up anyone. So yeah, if you want Burrow, that's fine with me.
Let's take Joe Burrow. I'm not scared to take him unstacked. I just do not think it matters as much as people want to think as far as stacking is concerned. I just do not, especially in this, again, I'll say it again, especially in this contest. It just does not matter as much. Like, give me the points. As long as Joe Burrow is healthy, just give me the points that I know are going to be there. Like, I think there could be an argument to be made that like diversifying away from a stacked Burrow, like with Chase and Higgins, obviously. And obviously Lolsimo is not happy with us. But
yeah, we just sniped Lolsimo.
I don't care. That's fine. Well, he watches this show. He
lets you know in the comments. Nice Burrows.
He knows how I feel, A, about stacking, and B, about obviously Joe Burrow. So it shouldn't be a shock. And when we get stacked or sniped on Daniels for no apparent good reason, then I like to pass on the hate. So
at least Daniels runs, but Burrow runs and gets hit. Burrow can still finish top 4 and be the one any given week, but it feels a bit better stacked up.
I mean, sure, but he runs a fair amount as well. 5 touchdowns a couple years ago. Like, obviously he was injured last year, injured this year. 2 touchdowns, didn't run a crazy amount, but he was coming off, a big injury, as he always seems to be. But we saw him running around in the flag football game and looked pretty good to me. Scary as I did not like it. I'll tell you that watching it, but again, like
playing football for once, that's all.
Yeah. Well, he could do that in the NFL, if you don't mind. for the franchise that's paying you millions and millions and millions of dollars, or just do it for free on the weekend for flag football. That's cool. Either one.
Well, you play hockey in your spare time, so
yeah. Well, I'm also not making $1 million, like even 1 million. I'm not making $40-50 million doing my day job. I'll tell you that. So
that's fair. That's fair.
We could go Dak here.
I think that's probably the most logical direction. I wouldn't mind pulling up Addison, but for the CeeDee Lamb combo.
So that's the other kind of half of my non-stacking conversation, where I think if you want, you can do like exactly what we're going to end up doing in this draft, where we take Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, maybe we bring in Jake Ferguson, maybe we don't. So you have your stacked up quarterback and then a naked stud solid quarterback to just hit your lineup, get your points. Because again, I just think we need to stop playing this game of saying, I know what's going to happen in week 17. Like, I get that, we are taking shots months in advance. I get it, especially in this tournament. But again, that's part of the conversation, especially in this tournament where we're in fucking March drafting. Like, I just think we need to stop thinking we're smart and just take the best player available sometimes. Just draft good players. Let's get back to basics.
Especially in this scenario too, like Joe Burrow helps get us there, and then maybe week 17 our CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott stack is the piece. But like, to have a top 5 quarterback when the market is so expensive is valuable still. We also could fall into some back stacks as well. There's still late round options that aren't egregious. And I mean, we pounded the table for Kenyon Sadiq earlier. I'm definitely going to try and get him. I'll tell you that.
I'm into that.
Advertising it early, but
and we're definitely done at quarterback here. Like I'm not taking another quarterback with this.
Yeah. I love Tucker Kraft here. I think Godwin's really valuable. I like Wandale a lot.
I'm a big Pittman guy. Can I sell you on Pittman here?
Sure. I'm not in love with it, but let me
sell you. So
go for it.
Like, Pittman comes in, it's a new regime, obviously. Offensive coach and Mike McCarthy, offensive coordinator comes in from the Vikings, very quality offensive coordinator, in my opinion, probably for tight ends. He was a former tight end coach, but either way, it's an offensive regime that comes in finally for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who is his competition? DK Metcalf. He's an absolute wild card. You have no idea even week to week, we have no idea when he's on the field. No idea what we're going to get out of DK Metcalf. He can literally go 1 catch on 3 targets, or he could go. The other part of that is he's not going. I'll tell you what he's not doing. What DK Metcalf is never doing is 14 targets for 10 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is, he is never doing that ever. No. You know who has done that throughout his career? Michael Pittman. He's been a target monster his entire career. When he's, again, on the field and healthy, he did have a back injury, but he came back and played through it last year. So, again, like with DK Metcalf being the number, like your prime competition, we know for a fact through his entire, 7-8 year career for DK Metcalf, that he is not a target hog, target monster, target guy, target earner. We know that. And we know that Michael Pittman is that guy. So give me the guy that's going to earn all the targets, all the valuable targets underneath. He's not getting the deep stuff. I get it, but he's going to get all of the targets underneath and fall into the end zone 6 to 9, hopefully, times, sort of thing. 6 to 8 is what I would say. But
back when I first started the channel, my take with DK Metcalf until they drafted JSN was always like, it's flashy. sounds good. It's cool, and like he's got the athleticism where like you feel compelled. But like when he was going like third round, I was always like, this value makes no sense. You're getting maybe 10% less, or even 10% or less difference of production with Tyler Lockett for so much cheaper. Metcalf is just not good enough to like completely overtake and dominate the offense. He'll go over 1,000. He'll get the production, but like they're paying Pittman a pretty decent amount too. And like
it's just a new deal.
The Pitt man in Pittsburgh might be a fan favorite. Who knows? But
I like
yeah,
that.
I like that. And any excuse to fade DK Metcalf, I'm kind of on board with.
I feel you on that. I'm good with a lot of clicks here. I like Jadarian Price. I don't mind Pollard. I'm good with a lot of clicks here, realistically.
I like Wandale a lot, but we kind of need to get in at running back. Either Wandale or Jadarian, whoever you want.
Let's do Jadarian. I do think we need structurally, I think it's prudent to take a running back here.
I would agree.
So let's do that. I do like Wandale a lot as well. I'm 12% as we sit right now.
I believe I'm up to 16, maybe 17 at this point. Since he signed in Tennessee, I take him in the 8th happily. But if he falls to me, like I passed on him both of these 2 rounds. I had Bindles on and just didn't see him. Really regretted passing on him. If he somehow falls back around, I think he has to be the guy. But we have a good receiver room in general. It wasn't as important as the Jadarian Price click.
No, I agree with that. I promise you, I was the first one ever to say Jadarian Price's low-key first-round potential to the Seahawks. Right, I said it like 2 days on stream, so it's out there. It's on my channel. Go check the dates if you want. But it was about 3 days before Daniel Jeremiah put out his latest mock draft, where Jadarian Price goes 32 to the Seahawks.
I used to think they were a great sneaky landing spot for a receiver at that spot. And then they brought back Shaheed, and I was like, nah, that running back is 100% on the board, given the way that the Walker Sharp situation is gone.
And that would be a dream for this team and any team that you drafted Jadarian Price on. That would be the dream landing spot for sure. That is by quite a large margin the number one landing spot for a running back in this year's draft would be the Seattle Seahawks for sure.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Unless you think Mike Washington Jr. goes in the first round, which I got a boat to sell you. So
if they pass on Jadarian, I could see them maybe pull up Mike Washington at the end of round 2. But I think Mike Washington's an early 3rd if I had to guess.
I would be fine with that. Who do we like here? We could go either running back. We could even pull up Sadiq if we want to take a chance that he goes to my Bengals. I'm okay with that.
I'd be willing to pull up Ferguson for this stack and let Sadiq fall, but I do like Jalen Coker a lot in this range, but we don't need that position as much. I'm okay
with Ferguson. I'd rather take the gamble, just a kind of separate conversation. I'd rather take the gamble on Concepcion over Coker here. Though I have a similar exposure to both of them, but just as far as like in a vacuum making the bet, especially because it's like probably at a minimum your wide receiver 5 or 6. So give me the higher upside, higher ceiling in theory in Concepcion over Coker, but I'm very close on both. Don't get me wrong.
I've seen Concepcion fall more often, whereas Coker pretty much never makes it back. So that's where I'm willing to kind of push KC a little bit more often, but very high potential with KC. Just the mystery box. I take a lot more Coker than Tet. I'll say that.
Interesting. I'm big. Like I do this a lot, if I'm being honest, where I will like completely full fade, which I did Tet last year when the price does not make any sense. And then when the price comes back around and it's either like the same price or cheaper, then I'm basically fully in. Like second year Tet McMillan, give me some of that. Whereas he's going at basically the same spot as he was as a rookie, but give me the second year version of Tet McMillan for the same price. Similar to what we're talking about with AJ Brown. Like he's going basically a full round after where he was last year. I was not making that bet whatsoever last year. This year, I'm happy to take that bet with AJ Brown. So yeah, that's kind of, so I'm in on Tet McMillan. much more than Coker, even at cost considered. Like
Coker
could be outright replaced in this draft.
Why I like Coker, won't spend too much time on it, but they traded away Thielen with the plan to make Coker a really big part of the offense. And then 2 days later, Coker got hurt and missed like 8 weeks. So like he was coming back from injury and he like was a big part of their plan. And maybe, you know, he just didn't quite deliver, but he was used down the field in a way where I like the upside. Let's get our stack. Let's get our stack, man.
Let's do it. I'm down to take the gamble here. It is honestly a guy that I really, really want my Bengals. I think it's the I'm not going to say it's like the missing link of the offense. The offense is very good regardless, but if we had Kenyon Sadiq as well, that offense would be super scary. Super scary.
No, they haven't made any moves to replace Noah Fant and like bring in some competition for Gesicki, and like maybe they really just
not good either. Like
he's not good enough. He disappears way too often. Hudson is still a thing, and then even Brenton Strange contributes at times. Like Gesicki is not good enough to move the needle. If they had Sadiq, it'd be a perfect fit and would really like complete that trifecta of like who are you double teaming, because someone's getting open. Good luck. Yeah, that would be phenomenal if we do get this stack. And I think it's not a bad bet. They're either taking Sadiq or Stowers, in my opinion. Like if they miss on Sadiq, they'll go with Stowers round 2.
Potentially. The other like half of that kind of conversation, and people will think, you know, they can't, their defense was awful last year. Yes, it was, but they invested at each level of the defense in free agency pretty heavily. Boye Mafe, Jonathan Allen, and then Brian Cook in the secondary. So they spent some money on the defense in free agency. So they're picking 10th overall. You know, they don't exactly need a pass rusher. It's a good pass rusher class. I get it, but I think it's very live for that to go our way. Lots of wide receiver clicks here. I'm okay with any of them, but who do you think?
I was hoping for Chris Rodriguez, and our running back position's a little bit questionable, but I think receiver makes a lot of sense. If you want Juwan, that's cool. We took Cooper last time. I don't have much Boston though.
Let's take Boston. I haven't clicked him in a long time. I still believe in him. I 100% would have been on board with Rodriguez for sure right there, and agree with that. But give me any of those 3 wide receivers over any of these running backs, and it's really not close. So again, like let's just get the best player.
We got a lot of talent up top. Having 3 strong running backs like that, like especially just assuming we get the Seahawks bet, you know, like that'd be great. But I think we can still piece it together. I'm not gonna panic. No. But usually like taking Gainwell over Ferguson typically would have been my move. But to get that stack at tight end with both, I like quite a bit more, because Sadiq was not going to circle back.
No, and I honestly think we're fine with what we did, especially because we afforded ourselves a free click. So we're stopping at 2 quarterbacks. We're done there. I think we should be able to get away with 8 wide receivers with Lamb, McLaurin, Adunze, Pittman's good, Boston's fine. We should be able to stop at 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 7 running backs. So a little bit of volume if we need to. What I'm saying is we're going to have some flexibility is how I feel about it.
Yeah, we can have some depth for sure.
Yeah. We can make a decision later in the draft if we need an extra running back or an extra wide receiver, and we can kind of take it from there. So that's another reason why I like to stop at 2 quarterbacks when I can, because it just opens up the door for flexibility later in the draft. And even earlier in the draft, because like you kind of said, we might not have done Ferguson, might not have done Sadiq if, you know, we felt like we had to go with, you know, a wide receiver or a quarterback in those spots. So again, just I like opening the door of flexibility to my roster construction anytime I can. So
I think it's also sneaky that like the Saints pass on receiver round 1 and top of round 2. That'd be a really, really fun spot for receiver. I could see Boston to the Saints and like him a lot, even more.
Possible. I don't mind Ken Mitchell. I'm okay with Tracy, but I mean,
let's go missile. Let's go missile.
Yeah, I think he's a good click. You're a Chargers fan?
Yeah.
Are you stoked about Mitchell? What are your thoughts?
I'm stoked about Hampton. I'm a Hampton truther. I'm a believer.
For sure. But beyond that,
in
are you Vidal or Mitchell? That's the conversation.
When you look at the contract, you have to say Mitchell. It's kind of egregious to assume Vidal when like they gave him the lowest tender possible, where like he can still try to negotiate, but they can match. It's like, good luck getting more money than that. And then he was their fourth option last year, but like everyone got hurt, and he was so matchup dependent. Keaton Mitchell can explode on just a few touches. The upside, I think, logically, the RB2 is clearly Keaton Mitchell, in my opinion. They got the Ravens connection. The Chargers GM used to work for the Ravens, so while he wasn't their GM, like he's part of the administration that brought in Mitchell. He likes that profile. Keaton Mitchell's another year removed from injury, and at the end of the day, give me the Jim Harbaugh running back. Like Blake Corum scored 27 touchdowns his senior year in college. There is a world where you get a 20 touchdown season out of the Chargers RB1. And like, I think it's more injury related for Mitchell, but like in terms of upside at handcuff running back, give me the Chargers guy. I'm not going to overthink it. I want that backfield.
Let's make this pick, and I'll put a bow on that. I got a little, I agree. I'm agreeing, but I got something to add to that one. I don't hate Tracy if he falls into our lap. I think all we have to do is avoid the Jeremiah Love selection by the Giants. I think that's all you have to avoid to have him have some value.
For the sake of early season production, we got two rookies that might have a little slow start. Like if we do ignore, if Jeremiah Love is a Titan, we didn't get him. I like James Conner here. I'm still a believer in Emmett Johnson.
I am too. Connor's dead to me, if I'm being honest. 0% James Conner. I believe in Emmett Johnson as well. I very much do. He had a 30 visit with the Minnesota Vikings, and that would be a quality landing spot for a running back.
Debo's okay, but let's go Emmett, because our running back depth will get gross if we don't address it soon.
With the Keaton Mitchell thing, like I agree with the Harbaugh take as far as give me the running backs in a Mike McDaniel offense too.
As well.
We saw Raheem fucking Mostert have 20 touchdowns in a Mike McDaniel offense. And you know who reminds me of Raheem Mostert? Keaton Mitchell. Not as big, but fast, just as fast, right? Okay, we could say Devon Achane, a very poor man's Devon Achane is Keaton Mitchell. Either way, give me a fast running back in Mike McDaniel's offense. Definitely, injury dependent for sure, but he can spike on his own.
Standalone value. Yeah, no, he doesn't need a monster commitment to have a good spike game. He can score from 60 yards out. So you can't ignore him.
If you guarantee me Keaton Mitchell 5 touches. I don't care if they're catches or rushes. You guarantee me 5 touches a game for Keaton Mitchell. He's going to spike into your lineup at least 3 times throughout the season.
Probably, yeah.
So
for sure,
I'm down with Keaton Mitchell. It's just a load of shit right here. But what's the least stinkiest load of shit in your opinion? I'm fine with pulling anybody up too. By the way, if
it is gross for sure. Show me running back real fast.
Whoops.
And then show me wide receiver.
I think it'd be prudent to go wide receiver.
Yeah. In terms of pulling someone up, how about we take Christian Kirk this high? Is that too gross for you?
I'm good with it. Is he still there? I think he's gone.
Okay, then go Brian Robinson. Or whoever you want.
Let's take Ridley. He's already happened. We don't have a choice. But
that's okay. Yeah, 20-second clock. That's fine.
He did go. Wow.
Okay. Oh wow. Interesting.
I would have been fine to take Christian Kirk there.
Well, a good click to who took him. He wasn't coming back.
I think Ridley's worth taking some bets on. I have like 2%.
I have so much Chimera DK that I should get more Ridley, because I didn't really factor that in when I was like so high on Ridley. Wandale and Ridley, like
I would agree. I'm 26% Chimera DK because I was counting Ridley not on this team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to get away from that. And if we know Ridley's on this team, which we do, then he's got to have some kind of value. So
my exposure has fallen down to 15%, so a little bit less committed. But there was a time when it was over 20. I'll say
high.
that.
I was high and am still high on Trubisky, even with them both there.
Yeah.
Like he's another guy that can still spike, and they got to just get the ball in his hands, which I think they found out last year. Ridley could just get hurt again as well. Like the dude is not been the face of good health throughout his career. So
and possibly traded at the deadline if like he's just not a big piece for them. Like similar to Hopkins when he left Tennessee, maybe that's going to be better for him. He never felt happy to be there. It was just like he took the big check and he was like, I thought the Jags would match and I was wrong, so I'm stuck here. Weird vibes with him. But
we could do a number of things here. I don't mind Eli Stowers.
I was thinking that too, as kind of a hedge against our Sadiq confidence.
Well, and like Jake Ferguson is a nice high floor option that we can take some shots on.
But I do like Malik Washington, and we could always get Gesicki super late. So that's my only other direction. But I like Stowers as well.
Let's do Washington, and then I actually don't want to do Gesicki whatsoever.
Okay, that's fine.
It's
that's
just
fine.
so unsexy. Like I just think like Stowers for sure. Kate Otton's fine. I like Freiermuth. I think Greg Dulcich is a better click than Gesicki for sure. There's cool. Just other guys.
Oh, let's assume we're right, and we already got the stack we need. Yeah, let's just
not only that. Like I don't think we need a stack, but my big thing with Gesicki is like when someone shows you what they are, believe them.
Right. It's been a minute for him.
It's been more than enough time for him to like show us that he's going to be some athletic freak, just red zone threat and go up and get it 6 to 10 touchdowns. It's not going to happen. Let's just believe that Mike Gesicki is not good at football because he's just not. He's the other part of it is he's not even on the field.
Yeah.
Like that's my biggest problem with Mike Gesicki in this Bengals offense. I obviously watch a lot of Bengals games. He's not on the field ever. Like he's replaced by like you said, Drew Sample, Tanner Hudson, even Noah Fant to a degree. Like he's just not on the field. He's not available to catch touchdowns. So that's what you need out of your tight end. If he's not doing it, then what are you doing for me?
Yeah. Our running back room probably needs 2 more.
Yeah.
A lot of rookies we got. So
I think we could do Najee.
That'd be okay. I like Njoku though at this price. I really do.
I'll concede to the Njoku because we didn't take him last time, and it does make sense for the build. So.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with Njoku because he hasn't signed anywhere yet. That's concerning to me.
But that's the only reason he's falling. He's going to play. He's talented. I think he could be a Raven potentially. I think he could be a Patriot. They got rid of Hooper, and I think it's possible. I think he is too talented to be going this late, and once he signs, he will be moving up. I just think at this stage of the game, he wants to know where the rookies fall, and he wants to know that he's not competing for the second fiddle. Like it's one thing to be behind Andrews, it's another thing to be behind Andrews and a rookie. So that's the only reason why I think he hasn't signed. But upside wise, I think Njoku at this late has that value. As a third, I'm chilling with Njoku as a third.
Yeah, I'm fine with him as a third for sure. But my big concern with Njoku is a couple of things. I don't think it's him saying I don't want to sign until the draft. I think teams are saying we don't want to sign you until the draft is over. It's a very good tight end draft class. So I think teams are saying, you know what, we're going to see what happens in the draft. And then, if it makes sense, we'll grab you. Who do we want here? Now we could take Najee. We could take Katron, Chris Brazzell.
Yeah, let's go Najee or Katron. We have so many rookies already. Let's go Najee.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I was leaning. But with Njoku, too, to wrap that up, the other concern I have with him is his best days are behind him. That's my big concern with Njoku.
He's a bit injury prone as well.
Yeah.
But he also has some games with like 15 targets. Like there's a chance he reunites in Atlanta. You know, they don't have a ton of pass catchers. Possible. Yeah. I wouldn't bet on it, but it's possible.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he'd go to Miami. Even now is fine if he goes to Miami.
That'd be valid. That'd be pretty interesting. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
We'll see how that works out. Now, we have 2 more clicks, so I think our running back room needs one more.
Yes.
Our wide receiver room isn't amazing either. So I guess we just go one each.
I think so. I was really hoping we got Jeremy Bernard in the last one. He was so close. He was like 2 picks away.
You're telling me, but I knew these guys wouldn't let me have him. Green bean.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought I would push it because I've been getting him even later sometimes. Like I'm in a lot of lobbies where he's still there 212 sometimes. It's crazy to me.
Not when you draft on my show.
Yeah,
these guys won't let me have them.
That's fair.
Nice things.
But we're both overcommitted, perhaps.
I don't think you can ever be overcommitted.
That's fine.
We could do a number of things here. I mean, I'm trying to get my numbers up a little bit on Claiborne. I think
I have a maybe lot of, I wouldn't hate Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, let's do it then. That's where I was thinking. I'm definitely in on that.
I think he will have at least 3 games with a deep touchdown.
Yeah, he had a good season with them last year, and I don't think personally that the Chiefs can go offense in the first round, even with both of their picks, even in the second round maybe. Mm-hmm. And if it is a second round, it's fine. I think they have to go defense. I really do. Or maybe an offensive lineman. But I'm thinking defense is just way too much of a priority for this team. So I think Tyquan's going to be on the field. So I'm like 11% now, Tyquan. And I'm okay to click him basically every time in the 19th or 20th.
That's fair. There's a lot of names I still think are good to mix in there. So I don't think I'm above like 7% with Tyquan, but definitely like him. I was even optimistic about taking him before he signed. I was even like, yeah, if it's not Jalen Royals, they probably bring in Tyquan back. Like they had a good chemistry, and like if Mahomes going to miss a lot of training camp, you don't want to make a big gamble with a new name, and they don't have Hollywood anymore.
Yeah,
it's interesting,
and you never know with Rashee Rice. So
yeah, exactly. You really never know.
I like give me a guy who I'm just very confident that he's going to be on the field for this team. I am, which sounds crazy when we're talking about Tyquan Thornton, but I am just like fairly confident that he's going to be on the field for this team. So I'm willing to kind of take that bet. In the 19th, 20th round, it's whatever. They super
spread it around so much down there, and like he showed enough where in this late, that's all you need. Like for him to do what he did last year would be phenomenal at this stage. But almost on the clock again. I think this team might go running back, so I'm not gonna say. How about Amari DiMercado, another Chief? I also like LaQuint Allen a little bit. DJ Giddens in that handcuffed tier with upside, but like no one's super inspiring. So
let's do Giddens because he could luck box into all the work. I'm Brashard Smith over DiMercado by a fair amount.
Smith doesn't stay on the field. He can't pass protect. DiMercado I don't trust genuinely, but at least DiMercado is not as commonly owned in the contest like Brashard Smith, but neither are high owned, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't think either has great upside really. Even Kareem Hunt I think could still be more valuable than them, but none of the names inspire us. However, if our first team isn't winning the contest, it's because Taylor goes down, and that means Giddens is our path to victory here.
Exactly. I like that. I am trying to get a little more Giddens. I did like him as a rookie a lot. I like Brashard Smith as a rookie as well. I just don't think they're using him the way that they kind of should be. The Chiefs, which is kind of crazy, but I really don't think they're using him the way that they should be. We'll see if they do this year.
Line just isn't good enough to where he can't. Yeah, he has to chip block, and he can't do it.
Yeah, that could be part of it. But either way, Giddens, I did really like as a rookie. I still like. Again, he could be outright replaced in the draft, but I doubt it. Like unless it's a guy like Katron Allen, someone like that, or Singleton. Either of the Penn State running backs could outright replace Giddens after a pretty lackluster rookie season, but I do like the bet in the 20th round. I think it's completely fine.
Because they have Taylor and the rookie class just isn't quite good enough, it would shock me that they invest a lot of capital in another running back. And like, even if they have to roll out who they've had so many different names, Trey Sermon again. Like I think they would do that. Like they'll bring in Cam Akers or some shit if they have to. I don't think they're gonna spend draft capital this year if they did last season on Giddens.
No, especially because they don't really have much, like with the trades that they made, buying in, going all in this past season. So
with Sauce.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. I don't mind the build. So we finished 2-7-8-3. Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott. That's fine at 2 to stop at 2. I'm happy with that. And we double stacked Dak. So I'm happy we didn't stack Joe Burrow. I'm happy to go that direction personally. Jeremiah Love, Travis Etienne, Jadarian Price, the Missile, Emmett Johnson, Najee, and DJ Giddens. I think that can work. It's a little oddball-y, but
we just got to hit on the rookies, man. The rookie bet is strong with this team, but like if Jadarian Price isn't hitting, then like other than Mike Washington, the only other guy I really like think could crush is Emmett Johnson, and he goes super late now. But like if Love is the real deal, then him and Etienne are hitting our lineup well enough where we're not really counting on the rest of them too often. Like we do need Price to hit, like that's pretty important. But I think with 7, we got some good teams invested. Like Najee still has something left in the tank, but Mitchell could save us. Like up top, I think we just need to hit, and we'll be good.
It'd be the most ideal possible would be Jeremiah Love to the Commanders, Jadarian Price to the Seahawks, Emmett Johnson to the Vikings, Najee Harris to the Raiders. That would be the most ideal possible, and all are possible. Najee Harris is visiting with the Raiders. Emmett Johnson had a top 30 with the Vikings. Jadarian Price is linked to the Seahawks, and Love is not getting past the Commanders. So you never know. That would be the most ideal possible outcome for this running back room, but we'll see what happens. CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Roma Dunze, Michael Pittman, Boston, Ridley, Washington, and Thornton. I think we're really strong up top here, which I really like. So I think it, again, affords us a little bit of kind of risk-taking down at the bottom here.
For sure.
You never know with Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, we could get some bad production out of Boston Ridley. Washington should have a good enough floor to like keep, the threshold to like hit the lineup fairly decent, but like there's a world where if CeeDee Lamb goes down, we're kind of screwed. But I think we got enough where I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, we definitely need these top 4 to be fairly productive for us. But I mean, I think that's a relatively safe bet, if I'm being honest. Like it's not like any of these guys are extremely injury prone throughout their career. Like there's been some injuries, Pittman, Rome, obviously, hold out for Terry, hold out for Lamb a little bit, but none of that should be a concern in my opinion for this season. So I think
I doubt it.
All right.
And we should get some flex out of our running back too.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it's less likely. I think we're more likely to get some flex out of our wide receivers, possibly tight ends than this running back room. I think we're really hoping for 2 week in and week out. I mean, you got to just like with Love, I'm just betting on the talent. He's just everything that we wanted out of Ashton Genty last year and a little bit more, if I'm being honest. So no matter, like I said, no matter where he goes, whether it's Giants, Titans, Commanders, I don't care. No matter where he goes, he's going to be the guy. He is the best running back on any team that's in the area that's going to draft him this year. He is the best running back. So yeah, give me Jeremiah Love and just bet on the talent.
We'll review the tight end position and then I'll chime in.
Jake Ferguson, we got Kenyon Sadiq stacked with Joe Burrow because he's getting drafted by my Bengals at 10th overall, and then David Njoku.
There's risks involved, but like a major reason to be drafting at this time is to assume that you can thread the needle correctly and have takes on the draft that do land in the right spot that elevate all of these mystery boxes, especially the rookies. So like we're going fairly strong with our rookie takes, and these are like 3 of the only ones at running back that I think are worth taking. Mm-hmm. But you know, if we're wrong on our draft takes, we might crash and burn. But if we're right, we're in excellent shape. And interesting team. Don't have a team like this, I can assure you. But I think from like a standpoint of like, we let the board fall to us last time. This time we got more aggressive and like projected off of intuition and vibes. I like it, man. I think we had a good shot. And our Sadiq Burrow stack is what's gonna really stamp us to advance. I think that I think is really what will cement this team as legit.
I definitely hope that for real life football as well as this fantasy best ball draft right here. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then it's Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington Commanders week 17. And we make off like bandits. I get more money than you do if we win. So being Canadian is nice in that regard. No taxes.
I'm jealous. I'm in California. It's as bad as it can get.
Yeah, your exchange rate is a heck of a lot better than mine. So maybe it ends up being the same amount at the end of the day, just because of the exchange rate. But either way, I'm not paying Uncle Sam when I win a best ball tournament. So, yeah, there's some perks to being Canadian, and that would be one of them. Not getting my pocket picked by the man on my gambling winnings.
As long as you're not Quebec. You're not Quebec.
I don't know if they can draft. I'm not sure if they can draft on.
Oh, is it only
There's a lot of things? Well, it's everywhere but Quebec in a lot of ways, in a lot of things. Yeah. They have different rules there. So a lot of like gambling sites or like even some like shipping, like places won't. It'll be like is available anywhere excluding Quebec or something like that is what the like fine print will say. And including some gambling sites. So I'm not sure if you can, though I go to Quebec fairly often. The company I work for happens to be a French company. So I go to Quebec at least once or twice a year. And I think I draft while I'm there. So I think you're allowed now, though. There's some stuff like DraftKings. Anyways, that's just, again, not really necessary to talk about, but
sucks to suck.
yeah, it is what it is. But let's get out of here. I appreciate you coming on. Finally, we're able to set this up. Sorry to the chat. I wasn't super engaging with the chat. Usually when we have a guest on, it's usually a conversation piece, that sort of thing. But again, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
if you got anything for the people, again, everyone in the chat, go down low. For some reason you're not subscribed to Nice and Blunt down there. 2 clicks, hit description, hit the link, hit subscribe. Go subscribe to this man. Let's get him to 10K. What do you got for the people before we get out of here?
Appreciate that, man. Much appreciated. Had a blast. Glad that we made it happen, and appreciate you setting this up kind of last minute today. We were kind of like, I think it can work. Let's do it. And very much looking forward to having you on my channel. Our plan is Thursday, and that should fall into place. Cody will be on my channel on Thursday, and you can find me at Nice and Blunt here on YouTube. And I am starting to get involved on X. I'm also Nice and Blunt on X, but like for years it has just not been. I've not invested time, and I kind of regret it because now I'm reaching out to other people, and it's like I mentioned this to Candyman. I mentioned this to some other people. I wish I started reaching out to more folks sooner. It's always a blast. Everyone in the community is really nice, and like we have this in common. Like that's just that alone is like hard to replicate. So yeah, man, this was a blast. I had a great time, and some good conversation, good tangents at times, and we agree on enough things where there's good overlap. And we the first team we drafted was a banger, and then I think our second team is legitimately live to compete. If we are correct, we're worth the risk for sure. Had a great time.
They're definitely different builds for sure. So you never know what's going to happen, but absolutely. Yeah, we'll get it going. We'll be back. I'll be back solo on Wednesday night, Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. We should be good though. It seems like I saw some chat over here that I might be playing hockey Friday night. We'll see. Definitely Wednesday, at 8:30 Eastern, or sorry, 8:30 Mountain Time, 10:30 Eastern is like we always do. And then Nice and Blunt on Thursday. We'll probably be there. I'm assuming we'll be there.
most likely, unless there's something day of that messes with me. But at this stage, I really doubt it. I'm like 90% sure we'll be live on Thursday evening.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work. And like we always say over here on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight, Nice and Blunt and I were right. We win $200,000 and I get more money because I'm Canadian. But